Hello everyone, this is Vicky StitchNButton, and I am back for my little bi-weekly uh, update. I know last time I said it's been stressful, and it's still a little stressful, just life. But it's okay, I'm hanging in there, I'm figuring it out, because that's what I do. In the meantime, I have been stitching. I just finished a whole bunch of bags, and so they're on the group right now. What's left over, I may, if I get some time a little bit later, I may put what's left over on my Instagram. We'll see. They're over there and I didn't grab them, so I'm not going to show them this time. If I have some left over in 2 weeks, I will show them then, probably. Let's see. I have a finish. I have some stitching here, and I have a couple other little tidbits to show at the end. So let's get into this. First of all, I'd like to say I had put a shout out to find if anyone had some silks for you, and Pixie is her name on Instagram. Pixie came through and I got that floss in today, and I let my friend know, and she had actually a package going to her that I was packing up today. So it was absolutely perfect timing because I didn't have to pay any extra shipping to ship it off to her. I just put it in with the stuff she had happened to order from me. And I let her know that it came in, and she said she is so grateful. Thank you so much. So, Stitchers unite, right? Gotta help, gotta help. I told her I want to see a finished picture when she's finally done, and she said she promised she'll send me a picture of it. That way I'll put it in here probably. So you can see it's all done. And what else? Let's get into the stitching. How about that? Because I don't want to talk about stupid stuff. You know, life. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's going to be just fine. Okay, so let's do with a finish. So when I did my last video, I said I wanted to finish Walrus. Well, that night I ended up finishing him up. This is Walrus's Sweet Tooth, and it's from Madam Ice. Now, hang on, I have the chart here. Let me reach over and make some noise. That's what it's supposed to look like. This is what it looks like, because I decided I wasn't doing any of those snowflakes, and I had enough charms, and that's what I ended up with. Now, this little guy down here is holding a candy cane, and it was supposed to be just in white, and because of the fabric and everything, I decided to put some back stitched stripes on it, just to make it look good. And I figured it helped it stand out just a little bit. But I think it's really cute. I think I will finish it in the round as an ornament. I even left it on the hoop. You know, I don't know if you guys have been seeing on Instagram, if you follow. I know some of my friends do. There's Modern Hoopla. Has these frames where you can use just a wooden hoop and put it into the frame in the back, and it looks just like a framed piece. So maybe I want to do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I actually ordered a round cutter. I'm waiting for that to come in. That might be how I end up finishing. If I get the round cutter, I can just do it as an ornament or even a wall hang thing, because it's kind of big. But anyway, he is stitched on 28 count even weave from Fabric Flare in Ice Fractal, it's called. There we go. Ice Fractal. And I'm happy with it. I'm happy with him. So that is a finish. With these cards, these larger cards that I'm using now, I don't know where my highlighters went. Where'd they get? On here. As I finish, I put it in the back of my box. But I highlight the top corner in green. Oh no, it should be red or something, but I decided on green. So that'll go in the box so I know it's a finish. And I put the date that I finished it, so we're good. What's up next? This is going to be what I'm stitching on tonight, and I stitched on it last night. It's Guardians of Notre Dame. This is the one I broke up into 12 pieces, even though originally it was 12 pieces. Whatever, you know, gotta do my own thing. But I had already had this done when I decided on this, so I'm doing the other 11 pieces, and then December will be to finish up the center round portion. And I started on this portion. Let me put this behind there. There we go. I started on this last night. That was about 300 stitches. This portion is going to be a lot less stitch heavy than the rest of them. I mean, I think I'm about halfway done, just the inside portion. It's a, I'll show you. It's this cat. Is that a leopard maybe? Or a puma or something. Anyway, so as you see, I have all this done, and I just have his head to do, and then obviously the little bit of framing, but it's not as stitch heavy. Anyway, this is being stitched on, I guess I should tell you, 32 count Victoria Mono Sampler linen in the color Shadows. This was a monthly piece of fabric, so I'm not sure. And there's my back. Doesn't look too bad, right? The back stitching always looks horrible on the back. But I don't know if you can get this color from her, or she just did one-offs. I don't even know if she's selling fabric anymore. So I don't order from her anymore. I just have so much threads, so many threads, and the fabric thing was imploding on her, so I decided to pull out of that. Matter of fact, I'm not getting any monthly stuff right now, and I was getting grace notes, and I had to stop just because of financial reasons. I have things that I need to catch up on, and I have a ton of fabric, but I do want to get back to getting the monthlies from Corinne and grace notes. I think I might even move it to a 36 count, because I have a lot of 32 and 28 count. I could use some 36 count, because there's never enough fabric in your life, right? So when I get back, I do plan on getting back into it and getting some more months from her, because I do like her colors. But here is Guardians of Notre Dame. Oh, that needle minder is still available in my shop. I still have some of those left. So I'm going to put that off to the side, because we are going to be working, me, when I say we, I mean me. I'm going to be working on that tonight. Next up, I did a little bit on a full coverage, which is a small full coverage, but hey, every little bit counts. Apparently I did 2 nights of this Silver Moon tea. It's a Mirabilia. It is a full coverage if you look at it. And this was gifted to me by Laurel Ann. And she sent me the chart and the beads, so yay. And she's also stitching it. This is being stitched on, did I lose a needle? No. Okay, we're good. Fabric Flares Lilac. It's an even weave 32 count. And I didn't pull my board down, sorry guys. You think I was new at this thing. But we're going to go like this. And that's what it looks like right now. I'm trying to think of what I actually stitched on. Okay, I stitched on. That needle minder is available in my shop still, by the way. I stitched a lot of this dark gray, almost totally black, and some of the blue wispies from the tee. Almost positive that's all I ended up stitching on this time. Yeah, the blues and grays that went through, and that. And I ended up getting 427 stitches in on it, so it's not too bad. I don't think this is the total bottom yet. I don't know. I didn't. But I'm almost, because there's a whole nother border, so I'm close to the total bottom of the gray part, or that is the total bottom of the gray part, and then I'll get into that secondary border that's around there. So she's going away for right now. I don't know when I'll be picking her back up again. But I was happy with my progress on it. And to get some more on a full coverage was a good thing. Because even though it's not a huge aid, it still is a full coverage, right? Still counts. And speaking of full coverages, I did pull out yet another one. And although the paper's a little beat up, it's fine. This is Tilton Crafts. It's called Zodiac 1896. I am stitching this on 25 count, 1/1. And I have been debating on whether I want to do this 2/1 half stitch or 10 stitch. But this is what she looks like. I ended up picking her up and putting in 304 stitches. I was on a Friday night's chat, and I did some more white. I think I finished off a park thread here, and then I got sick of just doing the off-white. I think it's 38.65, so I picked up this to finish up some stitches. 304 stitches total so far. I think I'm still in a part that if I do change to the half or the 10 stitch, you won't see much of a difference. And side note, had I realized that this picture meant that I was actually stitching this portion and this black line, I probably wouldn't have even done that. I probably would have omitted that portion and just went in with the design itself. But I didn't, so we're just going to go with it. This needle minder was gifted to me from Audrey Stitchy Witch 42, and she's the one that inspired me to do an Alphonse, so it had to go on this one. I do plan on pulling this out again this year. I'm trying to get a little bit more done on my full coverages than I have been in the past. It's pretty pathetic. Piddly amounts that I'm getting done. Put this away. And I made this bag just for this. Put the constellation in there. Alright. Next up, I worked on Vader. Vader is, when I bought it, it was by Stitch Line. Now they're called Stitch Area, all one word, on Etsy. And this is Vader. So he is being stitched on 36 count Vicky Clayton fabric, 1/2. And I ended up getting in, I did a good amount, 520 stitches, and this is on Pattern Keeper, so that's even better. What I did do is I forgot that I was stitching 1/1, and I ended up putting this in as 2/1 before I realized, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep it, it'll just give it depth, it's fine. I knew it was starting to look a little crowded. I'm like, the other stitches look better, and then I realized why. So it'll stay there, and then the rest will be 1/1. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. All right? It's not going in for any award-winning things, competitions or anything. So it'll work. I was happy with getting the 500 stitches in on that. And it prompts me to actually want to work on it maybe a little bit more. Try to pull it out a couple more times. This one, I don't even know, did I show that I even started this? I forget. This is Autumn Harvest piece called Taboo Kitty. It's from the Autumn Harvest collection of Mill Hill. And Taboo Kitty, this is where he's at. I have finished all the full stitches, all the back stitching, and I started the beading on it. All the beading up there is done. So now I have, let me look. I have beading, obviously, speckled, let me not give you the finger, speckled throughout here a little bit, but then the bulk of it is, there's a line of beads that go down on either side, and then some there. And I was thinking, because that's not charted to be stitched, and I don't like that it's sort of just going to be brown, I was thinking about pulling in maybe some of this orange and putting it in there to make it look like more of a light, like a lantern type situation. I think that's what I want to do. But I had bought this little bead organizer off of Etsy, one of the Russian or Ukrainian, I'm not quite sure which one, where it came from exactly. I bought it last year or the year before, and it's got magnets that hold that plexiglass on, so I just tossed them in there because I wanted to use it. I hadn't used it yet, and I have a couple of different things, which reminds me, might as well show this now. I was digging through a bin looking for something I still haven't found, and I found out how to throw stuff. I found my old tacky bob. This is one of the old school tacky bobs, and it's still sticky. It's got hairs, fuzzies, but it's still sticky and it still works. So I'm just going to put that in with my beading stuff. I just kept it out just to show you guys that I actually found mine. And I think once it's not as sticky as it should be, I can probably just put some double stick tape down and make it so. Or I actually have some of those silicone things. I could probably put a piece of that in there. The silicone sticky ones, I could put that in there. So there's options. But I'm storing this little guy in here. This is my little bag from my friend Andrea. She made that for me. I showed that before. So he's in there. And I just want to finish him up. I'll probably, hopefully, remember to finish him up before my next video. How about that? Next up, I needed some, like, just block stitching one night. And I went through and I was like, this is definitely good block stitching. This is Yoda. This is from ValentiCrossStitch.com. It's Valenti Cross Stitch on Etsy. So it says do or do not, there is no try. And he is being stitched on 32 count Joblin in Wedgwood Blue Dark from Slovak Farm. I had purchased that from Laura a while ago, and here he is. He's looking good. What I ended up stitching was this darker brown and this lighter brown. So I started from the green here and worked my way down, and that was 400 stitches. I have a version of this, I think, still available. It's a smaller, but it's a version of that Yoda available in my group. But I think he looks good. And this is really good if you want to do block stitching. Also, it works in Pattern Keeper. So that's also a bonus. Oh my goodness. Having issues. Struggle bus. Okay. Next up on the pile is the baker's wife, aka the Happy Hooker. She is being stitched on 32 count memory. It's a Belfast from Picture This Plus. And I have not done heaps on her, but I did get some of her done this month. And there it is. I was tired of just having the white and the gray in there, so I decided to move on down and put some color in, and I ended up stitching a whopping 312 stitches. That's 312 stitches right there. I may have finished some gray on a thread that was hanging, but that's where I'm at with that one. I like it. When I look at the pattern, I'm loving the pattern still. But when I look at this, I'm not loving it. It just, I think more I get little bits, it'll start looking better, and I'll start wanting to really stitch and finish it. I don't know why, I'm just sort of stalled on it. I don't hate it. It's just not as enjoyable to stitch as some of my other things, I guess. All right. Next up, I ended up sitting here going, I just don't feel like stitch on anything, and you ever get like that? You just, yeah, I mean, I have like 94 whips. I've got to have something I feel like stitching on, because it's not that I wanted a new start. I'm just trying to think about, with so many now, I have almost too many choices. So I wrote down, I started going through my list. I have it on an Excel sheet, and I started going through my list on stuff that I really feel like I want to stitch on. Right now, just looking at the names of them, what I want to stitch on, or what I want to get more done on, even if it's not a finish, but I try to get a good chunk on. So I started writing a list of it. One of them on there was this, the Dragon and Fairy. Really like this a lot. This was gifted to me from Belinda, Aussie Stitcher. And it's being stitched on 32 count even weave in Electric Wisps from Fabric Flare. It was a monthly, It was a fabric of the month I had gotten from them in 2020, September 2020. So I ended up pulling this one out and putting 314 stitches on it. I was watching Fringe. It's on HBO Max. So I was watching Fringe when I did it. And this is where I'm at. Belinda also gave me this needle minder. So what I ended up doing was filling in some of these gold colors here in the wing. Also did the dark brown and a little bit of the green because I had a thread like hanging off. So it was a lot of the golds and browns I was filling in. As I'm stitching it, I really do want to stitch it more, but I'm at a page break. And whenever I get to a page break, it irritates me because I'm afraid I'm going to mess up, and it takes a lot more concentration. And most of the time I'm stitching, trying to get stitches in for challenges, and I just want to get that many stitches in. So if it ends up that it's slowing me down, I tend not to stitch on it as much. So this is at a page break here for me. I think I might make a new working copy so the page break isn't there, but then I have to mark off what I did. So it's a chore. Anyway, I really do like the way this is coming out on there. I think it looks great on this fabric. Let me open it up. See that? It really does look like a sky situation. So this will come back out before the end of the year. I know that because I do want to stitch on that again. And then last but not least on the stitched portion is Anzac. This is Long Dog Sampler's Anzac. And a bunch of us had started this. I am stitching mine on 28 count black even weave 1/1 using Romy Creation threads called Ara McCall. And here it is. Look how cute. This little bit of this and this was 422 stitches. That's how little those stitches are. Look at that. Believe it or not, it's not as bad as you'd think stitching on black 1/1. I can see with the light. You have to have a good light, but I'm really happy with this. I've had several issues with this not coming out right because I've had to frog, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm still liking it. I'm still loving the way it's looking on here, so I'm happy with it. I do have to go back and do some back stitching like this. I think is a part of a butterfly, and there's a couple other things that are back stitched that Pattern Keeper doesn't show you. And I also have to do the back stitching on the lizard. So I need to go back and do that. But otherwise, I think I'm almost done with the page. There might be a little bit more in the page. But I'm pretty sure like this is the bottom of the page. That's one page. Almost. So I'm happy with that. And here are the threads. I had gotten 10 skeins because I wasn't sure how many I'd need. And I wanted to order again. So here are the threads from Romy. And I know you can still get these from her, by the way. And those who carry her threads. But I love this color. I had to figure out something to stitch with this, and then the Anzac came out and I was like, yeah, we're gonna do that. And it needs to go in black. So Anzac it is. That should come back out this year too, by the way. All right. I made a purchase a while ago and I forgot to show you guys. I don't know why. I even printed it out and I totally forgot to show it. But I had bought this a while ago. It's Farm Fresh Seasons Mooings. I just love how funny that looks, that cow ice skating. I probably should kit it up because I need one more thing to stitch in my life, right? I also received a package in the mail. It was a gift from my friend Kate and Cheryl over on Fickle Stitches. So Kate acts like she knows me, and she decided to buy me some needle minders. And there is this tarot card, The Coffee, which is funny because I just got stickers in that were tarot cards, and some of them were these joke tarot cards, and this was one of them, and it was the first time I had ever seen it, so it was funny that that came in. And she knows I've already got my ticket, but she wanted to make sure I knew I had my ticket. And then this, as soon as I opened it up and I read that, I literally laughed out loud. I was hysterical. That is funny. Okay. So I've already thanked her, and now I can find some projects to put this on. I'm going to put this over here for now. But, and they came in this little baggie. Anyway, thank you so much again, Kate. This is the little card, by the way, that I got from Pixie. And it has a little note on the back. That came with the threads. So I made sure, I actually just put it on a thread drop and put it in the package to my friend Becky. And then last but not least, I have cards that I got off of J-Long. She sent me this really cool card, by the way. Look how cool that is. I might have to glue it together because it's a little thin, but if I glue it together, then I can make my flush straps from it. And what I ended up getting from her is this red-winged blackbird. Look how cute he is. Hands-on design Noel. I don't think I have. I said I like this one. I don't think I have it. I really don't. I might have. I think I have one of the others. If I have it, I'll gift it. To somebody else. I'll pass it on. Snowmen are cool. I don't have that button, but I might have a different kind of button I can use, which is fine. Also, I have a couple of the Snapperville charts, and she had a couple, so she sent them to me. The ones I didn't have and that she did. It's the Pumpkin Farm and Barnyard. And plus she sent me the free border. So I may need a couple of these. I just have to go look and see which ones I'm searching for. And then this one from Luminous Fiber Arts. Counting is hard. Don't we know it? Especially when you're doing one of the ink circles or something. And then The Seasons from Bent Creek. So cute. It needs to be on a different fabric though. I think on a different fabric it'll be fabulous. This one is cute. Snowman stocking. It should be Snow Woman stocking because I mean it is Emily's, right? And then Winter Arches. So that is that. Plans. I am planning on starting to make project rolls. I have this stuff to make it, and now that I finish these bags, I'm going to pick out fabric and start making some project rolls, so stay tuned for those. They will show up on my Facebook group first. I want to finish the beading on my little Taboo Kitty there. I also need to work on Stormtrooper. I didn't show him, but I did. I don't know where he's at. Wait a minute. Here he is. I did work on him. See, I did work on one more thing. Told you I did a good amount of stitching. This is Stormtrooper that I'm talking about, by the way. And I am slowly working on getting him finished, but I'm hesitant on using him for any of my cross-stitch challenges because I am modifying as I go along with quarter stitches. So there's a whole bunch of quarter stitches in there, and then I did I do some of the back stitching? I can't even tell. I did some of the back stitching as I went around. This I messed up placement, so I had to add extra, but I did quarter stitches and 3/4 stitches on that to make it not so blocky. And then I'll be doing quarter stitches on the stuff that comes down and the lettering there. I did a lot of the back stitching on the helmet also. And I think right now I'm working on the back stitching that goes along the bottom here because I missed some of it going through here and around the goggle area. So there's still a whole bunch more back stitching too. There's a lighter color back stitching that goes around some of these light parts. And I think I'm done the back stitching going around the outside. And then there's the words that have back stitching. And even these lines have back stitching on some of it. So it's fine. It'll be fine. I'll get it done. But like I said, I'm hesitant on using it for prompts because I don't feel like counting quarter stitches. And quarter stitches only count as a half stitch. So that's sort of where I've been with that. So I put a little bit here and a little bit there, but still wanting to get him done by the end of the month. We'll see if that happens. I won't be devastated if it's not, but I'd like to just push myself to fit in that goal. I will be finishing my Guardians of Notre Dame portion before the end of the month. That's for sure, because that's a pretty hard set goal for me, and it's easy to reach. I just have to pick it up and stitch on it, which I bet you, okay, I'm not going to bet money, but I can guarantee that I will probably finish at least the inside portion tonight, and start on the outer border. So in the next couple of days, I can have that portion finished and then move on to something else. As far as that list I was talking about on what I want to stitch on, one of the things I really need to pull out is Dark Queen of the Earth. I didn't even finish portion 1 yet, and it sort of got started and neglected. That needs to be rectified. Dragon Fairy was one on my list, so I can knock that out as far as I at least touched it. My fried green tomatoes, I started that and I was doing pretty good with it, and then I haven't pulled it out again. So those are a couple of the ones. I also want to work on Good Neighbors again. I haven't worked on that for a while. And Maurice. Poor Maurice needs his thread a day filled in, and I'm behind because I still only have January done. So 3 months later, I still have a whole bunch of lengths to put in on him. So maybe I should pull him out after Notre Dame just to make it like I did something. We'll see. We'll see. You guys will find out in 2 weeks as far as what I got done. I hope everyone is well. Big woosah. That's my thing. I'm just trying not to get overly worked up over things I can't control. My problem, right? And it'll be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. It's gotta be, because, right? It's just gotta be. That's why. I am still moving along. I will be announcing, I don't know when, in the next couple of months, all the details on the Halloween box. I'm still gathering stuff for that. I know it's way early, but you got to do that when you have so many things to do. So I've already got the fabric in for the bags. So I've got the fabric that I'm going to need for the box. I just need to. I haven't started cutting yet, but I can any moment now. So that makes me feel better, because then I'll have plenty of time to get those done. So I'm not sweating it too much. I'll still angst over it probably anyway, because that's just how I am. But the opportunity is there to slowly go forward with it without too much angst. Anyway. Okay, let me get this cleaned up. And I am pretty sure Gunner over here probably needs to go out again. And I'm going to need more coffee, because this is pretty low. And I need to get this stitching. Keep an eye out on my community tabs. I am debating on doing another live soon. Maybe this Saturday or Sunday. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see. Until 2 weeks from today, whatever date that is. I guess that's going to be sometime in May. I hope everybody's doing well. And don't forget, don't let anyone steal your sunshine. Bye.